Hello, everybody. My name is Dean Takahashi. I'm the lead writer for GamesBeat at VentureBeat, and happy to be here with Chris Hewish, the president of Xsolla. Good to talk with you again, Chris. And
Likewise,
happy
Dean.
to do another GamesBeat Xsolla episode with you today. Now tell us about the latest parental control feature you have implemented along with Prevo here. We've seen some companies like Epic Games learn some very tough lessons in this space, and I'd like to hear more.
Absolutely. And thank you, Dean. Always appreciate the opportunity to chat with you. So yes, parental controls. This is a topic of growing interest to a lot of our partners. As you mentioned, Epic recently learned a little bit more about the need for parental controls. And this is something that as we continue to help partners go direct to consumer, we realize that there's a growing need to ensure that our partners are taking the proper approaches to privacy and ethical treatment of children when they're going online with their games and their game commerce. So we have partnered up with a company called Prevo. That stands for the Privacy Vaults Online Incorporated. It's a great company that provides all sorts of support around sort of online privacy for children and parental controls and all of that. And we've integrated all of this into our product suite so that our partners who are out there running their businesses have an option to actually run those businesses properly when children are coming into their games. And we know that over 71 or about 71% of children under the age of 18 are actually playing video games. So it is a large segment that people should be aware of and take proper precautions.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. And now that web shops have been out there for a while too, I'm curious, what game companies are learning about going outside the app stores. Many of them, for the first time in a decade, right? What are some insights that web shop owners have, and what are they getting through this new partnership you have with the marketing analytics firm AppsFlyer?
Well, absolutely. So that's another cool thing that we're doing. So in addition to helping companies take their online privacy and child protection seriously, we are also helping companies track their performance online even better and lean into sort of user acquisition, attribution, really benefit from being able to look at all of their data and their cross-platform results and drive new insights. So the same way that we partnered with the previous company on child protection, we have partnered with AppsFlyer to do something really cool with our web shops. And for many of you out there should be familiar, many people in your audience, with AppsFlyer. They are a leading B2B SaaS and marketing technology platform, really data and insights driven. And as the industry continues to be led by mobile revenue, and we're seeing a lot of that now coming over to the web with these web shops, we wanted to do something that would introduce cross-platform measurement for developers so that they could gain insights into players, estimate the efficiency of their web shop business and marketing efforts, and at the end of the day, increase their sales through this channel. And what this integration does is it really allows game developers to gather and analyze data around user behavior and interactions on the web and inside their games and marry those together and compare those metrics to get some good insights. And it elevates things like measurement precision, enables user segmentation, and overall allows for a deeper comprehension of our customer flow, behavior, engagement, all of that. These are some things that Brian Murphy, the head of gaming over at AppsFlyer, had shared from what he sees as this benefit. So this is one of our big collaborations to really bring data and insights to the web shops to help our partners overall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very interesting time. I guess this opportunity hasn't really happened before, but it has to be, I guess, measured for results as much as anything else that's ever measured in the app store.
It does, Dean. And, these web shops are just doing phenomenally well for our partners, people that really look at how can they provide an online destination for their players, basically a hub online that provides additional value beyond what they can get within the app stores. The app stores, the third-party platforms are great, huge audiences, low friction, awesome. And what these web stores do is they unlock a whole new sort of market segment for people. And it's more important than ever as this business grows online to provide tools for our partners to really be able to analyze that business and track it and optimize it. And that's where AppsFlyer comes in. So we're really excited about this partnership.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I take it you can predict that this is going to grow even more over time on a global basis as I guess this opportunity spreads, and I think regulators around the world want to see this happen. They want more web shops, I think, or they want companies to have the freedom to create these web shops as they need.
Absolutely, Dean. It's all part of the increasing trend, both from a business standpoint, but also a regulatory standpoint, to allow companies to go direct to consumers. So in this case, it's really empowering mobile companies to have these direct relationships with their players, where they can not only get the game data that they're currently getting on where the players are, how they're playing within their games, but now they can get the data around the commerce and their behavior online and all of that. And as you mentioned, there are regulatory changes that are coming. I think we're going to touch on that a little bit at the upcoming GamesBeat Summit in October. But really curious to see what comes out with the Digital Markets Act that goes into effect March of next year, and how that really opens up even further the opportunity for mobile companies to expand their businesses beyond just a third-party platform and really connect their whole ecosystem between online and the app stores. So a lot of opportunity in front of us, and we're just trying to make sure that we work with the best companies and provide the best technology and integrations for our partners to take advantage of all of that.
Yeah, I know the Digital Markets Act is, I guess, a new regulation coming in from the European Union, and that's just a massive market that is going to be required to be open when it comes to web shops and things like that.
Correct. Yeah, that was a regulation or some rules that were passed actually back in 2022, and the large platforms were given some time to prepare for compliance with those. And like I said, March, I believe 4th of 2024 is when, or March 3rd is when that actually goes into effect. And it'll be really interesting to see how that shakes out and what opportunities it creates for our friends in the mobile space.
And speaking of markets elsewhere, you've got a big presence in Asia and China and Korea and Malaysia, but you also have some news on opening a new office in Tokyo here.
Yes, I am really excited about this one. And I know you recently have been over there yourself, so you absolutely know the market from your recent travels. But we're announcing that we have opened up an office in Japan. And it's not only just opening up an office, creating an entity and all of that, but we actually have local staff that are now hired and on board with that office to really best serve not only our existing customers who might be looking at Japan, but also to create more of a direct connection and authenticity and understanding of the local market for local partners, right, that might be there and looking to either expand their businesses within Japan or out of Japan. And, this is really exciting because it's part of our continued effort to get closer to our customers, whether it's the partners or their players, and provide value that's localized and really understands the specific region. And then as part of this, we are onboarding a number of local payment methods within Japan, which really are going to help increase the business for everybody there. And a lot of people understand Japan is a big market, but it really is a big market in mobile. It continues to grow, continues to really perform well. And, it has a lot of unique payment methods just for that market. And we want to make sure that we're tapped into those and providing those for all of our partners.
Yeah, I know credit cards are useful there, but there's so many people there, especially even tourists like me, we're using our payment cards, all kinds of different types of cards there, and you can use it right in the subway, and then buying something at 7-Eleven, or now it looks like we can do a lot of game shopping as well. So it's a very interesting market that way.
It is, and there's been a real surge in that adoption of digital wallets within Japan. They really lead a lot of the world in people using digital wallets, not just credit cards, but using these digital wallets or super apps to do everything. And there are payment options like Line Pay and PayPay, RPay, AllPay. It's interesting. Everybody has pay in their name, but there's all these cool payment options out there. And we are in the process of integrating with all of them to really unlock the opportunities in Japan.
Now, I know you've been in Asia a long time, and you probably had a fair amount of customers in Japan already. What's some of the additional advantage of having a physical presence? Especially post pandemic, everybody's been wondering about whether we need offices anywhere. But you guys have sort of planted a stake here in Tokyo.
We have. I mean, look, one of the advantages, and it's not just an advantage, I would actually look at it more as a sign of respect, right? It's, Japan has an amazing, rich culture and history. It's got a great games industry. And I think too often, and you could say this for Japan, but also Asia in a larger sense, you have Western companies going in and they don't take the time to respect the local culture, to hire people that are actually, from there and understand sort of the business practices, understand player behaviors, all of this, right? So that they can, properly do business and do it respectfully and efficiently. And too often people just go in and try to slap their own existing, maybe Western model or some other model on the business. But for us, as I said, it's really important that we get close to our partners and our players. We respect them. We take the time to understand what their needs are, how they actually transact. One of the advantages that we have is we have all of these payment methods from around the world integrated. And that's just part of it. Integrating the payment methods is one thing, but actually being able to understand the local culture, the local behaviors, the trends, what's happening, that allows us to provide better support to our partners and help them understand those markets so that they can approach them in a more respectful and efficient way, right? So for us, opening up an office there was really important so that we were, viewed as taking this seriously. It's not just sort of checking a box of another market we want to go in. Like, we want to do this right, and part of that is having a presence and having a presence that actually is from Japan that understands that market. So that's kind of it's a good thing to do, and it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, I know respect is indeed very big in Japan. I remember even the deer will bow to you in the city of Nara if you're feeding them. So respect is big.
Absolutely.
So you've got an announcement with crypto.com as well, and you're integrating cryptocurrency into the payment platform, the PayStation platform here. I know them as the company that took over the sponsorship of Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. I guess it's now crypto.com.
Yeah, so that's exactly right. So that's funny how a lot of these crypto companies, right? They really went on a branding spree, as it were. But crypto.com, I mean, they're one of the ones that appear to be doing it right, and we're excited to partner with them. We've taken a very cautious, methodical approach to integrating with different cryptocurrencies. We do have over 700 payment methods already integrated into our payments app, and crypto is something that, obviously there's interest there. We had early on put in Bitcoin and a couple of others But for us, it was really important to do it, even if it was going to be a little slower than some others, to do it right and make sure that anything that when we introduce the variability of crypto into our system, that we're doing it in a way that protects our partners and protects our, partnerships with other payment providers, because we work with a lot of banks and things like that. So it took a while, but we have come now, and we've had great discussions with crypto.com and found, hey, these guys are doing it right. And at least from what we, our perspective, and it made sense to partner with them. And going with them, it unlocks a whole range of additional cryptocurrencies, and really is going to open up a whole nother avenue of payment options for our partners and your players. So very excited about that. And that goes straight into our existing payment solution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very interesting timing, because I know lots of funding went into all of the Web3 gaming companies, and probably half of all fundings last year went into Web3 startups for games. And I got to believe they're all going to be starting to ship some things soon. It's taken a while. They're cooking these games for a long time, but I believe a fair amount of AAA people have gone into that space, and it could get very interesting too.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see. You're right. We're kind of hitting that horizon now, where at least maybe some early betas or something should be on the horizon to come out, and it's going to be really interesting to see what new mechanics or new sort of features have been created, or economies, all of that are unique to the Web3 ecosystem, right? And are we going to see things that have moved beyond just, okay, we're going to take existing games and throw some Web3 features into them, but see actual Web3 native feature sets and gameplay coming out. And that's part of what we want to be prepared for and have that offer in place, so that as those companies come online, they do have the ability to go direct to consumer, and we're there to help them.
Very good. Anything else you want to mention, Chris?
I think we have a big event coming up in a few weeks, Gamescom, and hopefully I'll see you out there as well. So our whole team is excited for that, and looking forward to meeting everybody in person. And then obviously, as I mentioned up front, looking forward to spending time with you in October at the GamesBeat Summit. It's always a good event, and the last one was fantastic. So looking forward to that again.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Our GamesBeat Summit next event is coming October 24th and 25th in San Francisco. And, it should be interesting. It'll focus on all of the leading edge parts of the game industry, technologies contributing.
Absolutely. I mean, big changes, not changes, but momentum really has picked up. And I feel like we're at this real tipping point of the direct to consumer push, where so many companies now are really embracing that. And, we have the macroeconomic situation, which is forcing companies to kind of look at their margins and find ways where they can actually drive not just, some margin benefits, but even grow their businesses where they may be retracting in other places. And, this is something that I've talked about for quite a while, and I'm a big believer in and get excited about, right? So I'm looking forward to talking more about that with you and the rest of the industry.
Yeah, very good. Well, thank you. My last little news bite is I'm fresh off of reading John Romero's autobiography, The Doom Guy, and I highly recommend it. It's very interesting to read a book from someone who has something like a photographic memory, and you can just remember everything that's happened in its life. So,
I'll have to pick that up. Yeah. I mean, I remember when Doom came out. That was like seeing that first 3D, Wolfenstein, and all of that. But it was amazing to get in there and play Doom, and gosh, how the industry has grown, and it really did establish that genre and did so much for us.
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much.
All righty. Thank you, Dean.